Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Virgo. This is going to be for the week of January 25th to the 31st, and we're going to get right into pulling out your romance angel messages and see what those messages are for that week. And then we're going to pull out your animal spirits and your forecasts. All right. I'm beginning to release the weeklies earlier in the week so that everyone gets a chance to view their videos. And we have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from the one that you're usually expecting, the usual type, right? Express your love and trust. Trust the situation is calling for you to have faith. So keep an open mind, express your love, and trust. All right, Virgo. So these are interesting, right? Trust has come out a lot this week as well for some of the other readings. So let's see what your animal spirits are like, Virgo, just to see what extra energies you might be dealing with, or certainly what type of personalities or characteristics you may be dealing with in terms of the people in your life, so we can see that. A lot of similar cards have been coming out for these weeklies, so let's just see what your animal spirits are, Virgo. The Lion, beautiful, purposeful. And we have the Crow. The Crow showed up a couple of times now. Totem of Magic. And the Earthworm. Associated, of course, with Earth. And really sort of being new at something. A novice lacking a little bit of self-confidence. Let's get right into it. The Lion is a strong fire element, of course. The highest, if not one of the highest animal spirits in the deck for self-mastery, right? Wanting to always master himself, be the best that he can be. Everything in his life, or everything that the Lion sort of focuses on, is towards his greater good, towards him mastering himself, towards him ultimately realizing a spiritual understanding as well. So it's a spiritual and emotional mastery that he seeks. And so oftentimes he can come across as being very aloof and unattainable or unapproachable. But if you look deeper, you can see that it's only because the Lion has such a fierce commitment to mastering himself, to always becoming a better version of himself, that everything is quite serious to him. He really doesn't have any time for things that don't fit into that plan. Of course, the Lion is the animal spirit for being regal, being sort of imperial in a lot of ways, right? Awe-inspiring in those ways, commanding a sense of authority and inspiration, right? Leadership, very strong. Now, the Crow is the totem for magic and is one of the strongest totems for magic, and can often indicate someone who is a little bit more, advanced in that area. Someone who has a high level of psychic ability, perhaps, right? Someone who is much more attuned to the supernatural, tuned to messages, or tuned to seeing things that are normally unseen, right, by the average eye. And so the Crow really talks about an expanded awareness of this coming in. This could be someone that you're dealing with, resonating with this, or this could be yourself. But in any case, at times like this, when these type of abilities and talents that we have are beginning to sort of grow and increase, the Crow reminds us to remain very level-headed. This is an air element, so we're talking about the mind and communication. And so the Crow is reminding us that at times like this, with these types of abilities coming in and increasing, we always want to make sure that we're working with a clear head, a clear mind, with clarity and with groundedness, right? Now, Earthworm is earth element and really talks about a period in our lives when we're feeling like the novice, right? The newbie in the room, the one that's just learning and you're surrounded by people who've been there, done that, right? It can be a real feeling of insecurity in a lot of ways. And just being afraid to sort of come out of the earth and really show who you are, show what you can do. Um, this is a normal feeling for anything or anyone that is experiencing something new, right? It's you're learning something. You may be a little bit out of your depth, or you just, it's a natural general feeling of a little bit of anxiety. You're not wanting to fail. You're not wanting to embarrass yourself. The one good thing about earthworm energy is that it is temporary, and all of us go through this feeling, and eventually, after a while of having some experience and going through whatever the task is that you're learning or that you're experiencing, you will start to gain the confidence that you need. And this energy is always temporary. It never lasts forever. And it's just a time thing. You just need a little time, a little bit of experience, and your confidence will begin to come in. All right, guys, so let's keep, and then let's go ahead and get ready to pull out your spreads for the week. Excuse me. These forecasts for you, Virgo, are intended to be separate from each other. And so you may only resonate with one of them or a portion of one of them. You probably won't resonate with all three, okay? Because they're just not intended for the same Virgo. All right. So let's just see. Straight out we have Justice, Six of Wands, Eight of Cups. Justice has been around a lot this week. Of course, it's a card for Libra, but nevertheless, Justice really talks about a rebalancing coming into your life, right? A feeling of really sort of wanting everything in your life to sort of come back into stability, right? Into balance. It could be, oftentimes, justice can indicate that you've been waiting for a particular judgment or official sort of notice to come in. A lot of times it is associated with that, this card. It's associated with acts of communication that we have with each other that come in to serve justice in our lives. So a lot of times that is a rendering or a decision in court or an agreement, right? In any case, you're resonating with this energy this week in a sense that it's really in your mind. You're thinking about it a lot. Some of you may even be waiting for the deadline to come in this week. In any case, it comes and you have a victory. It's really, really nice. This feels really good. You have a victory as a result of this coming in for you. And you're able by the end of the week to sort of say goodbye to a particular relationship that you've really been unhappy with. Some of you may even be waiting for sort of like a divorce, or a separation that comes in. And it comes in and you feel really great. You feel vindicated. You feel like, wow, things have really worked out the way I wanted them to work out, and you are absolutely able to sort of move on, move away. Eight of Cups is all about moving away from relationships that you've been pouring a lot of energy into it, and you're done with them, And so for some of you, you're indeed getting this justice coming in for you this week. You may have been waiting for quite some time for this, but it's definitely coming in this week, Virgo, and it's going to be a perfect time for you to finally get up and move on and move away from whatever strife or disappointing relationship you've been in. Temperance energy, Knight of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. Well, again, Temperance is associated with Sagittarius, but here, Virgo, Temperance energy is something you've been resonating with, and so you've been very calm, very strong in these last few weeks or times coming into this next week. And you've not been reacting, right? And again, I feel like for some of you, you may be going through a period of self-mastery with that Lion, where you're just going through certain experiences and events that are forcing you to really have to exercise temperance. And it is a strength to be able to have that, to not, temperance is all about not letting people sort of make you react in a way that is uncontrolled, right? You always are in control of your reactions and how you're going to sort of respond to any given event or any given energy, right? And it's a really strong way to be. It's very intentional. And it ensures that you're always in touch with yourself, your emotions, and how you're expressing yourself. So you're being your most authentic self at all times. Coming into the week with this, though, it is quite hard to maintain. Nevertheless, a Knight of Wands comes in for you. And I want to say that the Knight of Wands is there's someone who comes in who's really sort of like your champion this week. I think you get a little bit of support this week. In some way, this Knight of Wands feels very much like an outside energy coming in. Could be someone who has seen you, who knows you, who really supports you in whatever it is you're trying to accomplish right now. It could be someone who sees your vision also, and they really want to support your vision. In any case, it feels like a real sense of support emotionally and sort of in terms of just confidence-wise as well. By the end of the week, it feels very much also like the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. Of course, the Wheel of Fortune has come in, but it's like fate has got her eyes on you. First comes in this individual who's really very supportive and kind of helps you sort of maintain this temperance, but not also that, but also helps you maintain your enthusiasm and inspiration. And then by the end of the week, it's even, it's almost as if your good luck doubles down, because now other opportunities begin to open up to you. It could be that this person who comes in for you also brings a lot of opportunities with them. And it really feels like it's the beginning of a very nice creative sort of adventure with someone. Ace of Wands, Five of Wands, and the King of Cups. Well, Virgo, some of you certainly are, this could very much be to do with the relationship. Certainly you're coming in this week with the Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands can always indicate a new sort of very passionate engagement in your life. A new opportunity or a new sort of passion has come into your life. And sometimes this can be a physical attraction to someone, because the Ace of Wands is the great phallic symbol in the deck. So sometimes this can also indicate just meeting someone where you're physically, the magnetism is very strong, the sexual connection, the attraction is very, very strong. In any case, something new is coming to your life that you feel really strongly about, really passionate about. And you find yourself bickering and arguing, you find yourself coming up to this really weird sort of competitiveness this week. And I'm wondering if this isn't kind of a strange sort of, I don't want to say third-party energy necessarily, but it could be that, you've met someone new. This is a lot of strong magnetic communication, I want to say attraction, right? Magnetic attraction going on here. But it's almost like this week, as you get to know or as you figure out this person or this connection, you start to find out some baggage, and all of a sudden you're caught up. Could be that you're caught up in a lot of competitiveness for this person, or that somebody else is caught up in competitiveness for your attention. It suddenly gets very sort of messy, right, this week with the Five of Wands. Something about this connection suddenly creates a lot of mess. And the reason why I feel like it does have something to do with a love connection is because you round your week off with the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is interesting in that, it feels like you round your week off very much in charge. Either you're in charge or someone else is coming into you and saying, you know what, forget all of this arguing and bickering. I know who I want, and I want you. It almost feels like that to me. It feels like an example would be, say you meet somebody, right, and you guys really, really are into each other, and suddenly you're hanging out with them, and it's a new thing, it's a new social scene, and you just you find all of this weird vibe going on between a couple of other people, maybe other women. Say you're a woman interested in this man, and there's these other women around, and suddenly you're finding yourself in this really weird vibe with them. You don't really know them necessarily. But later on, you find out that, they have a crush on this guy that you're with, or they've been trying to get his attention for a long time, and now they're angry that you're around. And so you have this weird kind of, like I said, this real competitive energy around you that it isn't something that you've brought to the table. You've just kind of been drawn into it. And then it turns out that the next time you see them, it's all dealt with in a lot of ways, because your person who you're interested in has dealt with it. They've put down their foot and say, look, I want to be with this woman. I want to be with my Virgo, and that's it. And either you're my friend and you support this or not. It feels very strongly like that. Like you come together with somebody, there's a lot of nonsense, and they very much take this lead with King of Cups in the sense of sort of saying, look, I'm the one in control of my life. I know who I want, and I'm not going to tolerate all of this bullshit around me. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to have a real relationship with you. They're not trying to get into any kind of situation where you're constantly having to feel jealous or constantly having to feel like you're in competition with anybody else. This person you've met could very well be resonating with lion energy in the sense that they are indeed very sort of true to their passion in their heart, and they don't want to play any games, and they don't have time for any games. So any games that come up this week as a result of this union, it feels like they put a real stop to it. It could be you who puts a real stop to it, Virgo, but in any case, somebody steps up to the plate and puts the kibosh or a complete halt to any of this shenanigans, this real weird sort of tit for tat, arguing and competing for somebody's affections, jealousy, envy, and all of that. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. This is your reading, Virgo, for January 25th to the 31st. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to leave me a comment. You can go ahead to the links at the top of your screen if you want to get a private reading. If you're an international booker, just email me so we can schedule it manually. Some countries, the system has difficulty accepting your telephone number. And in that case, you just have to email me. But that's it for right now, Virgo. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time for your weekly. Bye-bye now.